So today is January 11th, 111. Of course, the portal is open, and I had a lot of spiritual encounters last night and spiritual dreams. The one thing that is very pronounced in my memory is seeing the whole meaning of the twin flame journey. I mean, I was actually able to see it in a visual. It was shown to me in a very visual way. And it was shown to me as a cube, a large cube with many different sides and different aspects of each one of those sides. But as far as the realistic portion of the journey really is about discovering yourself. It's about mastering yourself. I mean, it really, truly is. Of course, there's another part to it, and that's the love that's shared between the two twins. But each twin is really learning about themselves. They're learning to master themselves. They're learning to heal themselves. And that's really what the journey is about. In my own personal experience with this adventure, I'm a Virgo. And I like to see the whole picture, and I like details of the whole picture, and I want it clear, and I want it organized. And nothing about this journey has been that way. And not only has it not been that way, but I have only got piecemeal of information, which is really strange because I get dreams and visions and premonitions all the time about other people, about worldly events, about all kinds of things. But when it comes to my own journey, I only get little piece by little piece. And I know it's being done on purpose because I have this issue with being impatient when there's something that I want. And I have this issue with wanting to see the whole picture and see it very clearly. So this has been a real struggle for me, and I think it's a struggle with most twin flames on this journey. You know, they want what they want, and they want it now, and it can be a very frustrating place to be in. But it's true. It really is true. It really is a self journey. I mean, it really is learning how to become more evolved, learning how to expand your mind and your heart and your perception. Really, it's about perception. I mean, in my point of view, it's broadening your perception to see things that you just could not see before. They were there the whole time, but your perception didn't allow it to become visible to yourself, to your knowing, to your sight, to your inner sight. And I was shown this. I mean, I was literally shown my journey to this point, and how many times I got so frustrated and downright pissed off and saying, fuck this shit. I'm out. I just take this person out of my life, keep them out of my life. I don't want this anymore. Or you know what? Just take me out of life. I don't really care. We can just end this earthly experience as far as I'm concerned. You know, I came to those points quite a few times during that first year. Oh yeah, I was having many episodes. But, and I was shown that. I was shown a review of my journey so far, and I was actually very humbled by it. I was kind of ashamed at my behavior at certain points, and not really trusting the universe. But then after that, I also had like a peace come over me, and I was also able to be compassionate with myself and see that it's okay. This is not an easy journey. The point that I'm trying to make here is I know that this journey is painful and it's enlightening. It's all these different things mixed up in one. But now that I have this knowledge, now that I can see it from a different perspective, I just want to share with you that if you take the time, you take the moment to just take a breath and be in the moment that you're in, even if it's painful, even if it's confusing, even if you feel lost and you have no clue of what's going on or what's going to happen next, even if you feel like your whole world has been turned upside down and inside out, even if you feel like your heart is shattering into 1,000 different pieces, just take a moment and breathe. Just sit for a moment and realize that you are not in this alone, although it may feel that way. God, Spirit, the universe, whoever you define it to be, is there with you, and you are being guided and you are being protected through every bit of this. And it really is okay if you don't see the bigger picture at this moment. It really is okay. Know that there's going to be moments of disappointment throughout this journey, no doubt. I'm not going to lie. There will be moments of disappointment. But in the end, in that final result, know that you are going to be blessed above and beyond your imagination. Just believe that. Hold on to that. It is a rough journey, but know that that roughness is going to cease at some point. And the more that you open yourself up to this truth, the more that you will be able to relax into it. Just kind of fall into the journey and allow it to take you. Allow it to take you where you need to go, to experience what you need to experience. It's allowing yourself to fall into that flow and just breathe through it. And believe me, I know that is much harder to do than to say. And I want you to know I understand what you are going through. I understand how frustrating this can be. But once again, the point is, just remember, this really is for you to learn how to evolve and learn how to master your own self so that you can create everything that you want to create right here in this earthly realm, because you've already created it on other realms. You've already created it in different dimensions. But what you're learning to do is to create it in this dimension, this dense dimension that time exists. But we're learning how to master it. You are becoming a master of yourself, of your own life in this dimension. And that's one of the greatest purposes, because if you can't master your own self in your own life, how are you going to be able to step out there and teach others how to do it? We can help along the way. Like, of course, I'm not where I'm going to be. I'm still a work in progress. I can help with what I know so far. But as I go along further, I'm going to learn more, and I want to share more of that knowledge and wisdom. Same with you, wherever you're at. You have knowledge and wisdom under your belt. You can share what you know, even if you are a month into it. Believe me, you have already started learning. You are already getting experiences. It is a learning experience from the minute that clock starts and there's no downtime. Actually, the downtime, you know what? There's a little bit of downtime, and that's in the separation. And I know that separation can be a real bitch to deal with in the beginning, but as time goes on, you learn to appreciate that separation, because that is a breather for you to really gain a better and clearer perspective on things, mainly on yourself and where you stand. You can gauge yourself on, where you're going in the progress of this. Where are some areas you need to improve on? Where are some areas that you have already mastered? That separation period. Now for me, I get a little frustrated in the beginning, and then I relax into it. And I start seeing the things that I need to see. I start receiving the information that I need to receive so that I can readjust and move forward in a more positive way, in a more masterful way. So as time goes on, it really does get easier. as long as you are surrendering, like I said, I'm pretty stubborn. It took me a while to get to the surrendering point, and there's still areas I'm learning to surrender. But when you start surrendering, things do become easier and easier. So I just wanted to share this experience and some of the insight that I've gained, through my dreams and in spiritual encounters last night. And hopefully this will help someone that is going through this twin flame journey. So blessings to you all.